This is Stephanie Diaz-Ilion.
This is Omar Waheed.
And this is Rob Chappell.
And it's 365 Amplified. And I'm back.
Welcome back.
I know. And then we were back.
Welcome back to you too, Omar.
Yeah, because we weren't
Thank
there
you.
last week.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to everybody. But
the
Rob,
whole band's back
holding
together.
it down by himself. He was very lonely and empty. It's what he felt. All the emptiness without having.
And then missing
Us.
all of my bad, dry jokes for an entire week. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Right.
Maybe some of us. All right, let's go ahead and go right into the news, y'all.
Yeah, this weekend, it's a busy weekend. Like Dave and I were talking the other day, there's a gala and a bazaar
All in the
every
same
day
week.
for the rest of the month.
All day long.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to talk about one of the galas coming up, which is the Urban League Young Professionals, or Urban League of Greater Madison Young Professionals fundraising gala next Friday, the 13th. Is 13th Friday or Saturday or Sunday? The 13th would be Saturday night. Sorry, next Saturday night is the gala for them, and their current president and their incoming president, Kayla Conklin and Deja Mason, will join us in a little bit right here on the program. But this weekend, tomorrow, December 6th, is the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce holiday Black Bazaar. And Omar had that. You went to that last year, didn't you?
I did. And then I got very, very sick. And you and Dave made me take off. And we didn't end up writing it because it was like a week later.
Right.
Sick as
But you
I've
get some
been.
pictures. You get great photos.
I did. It was the sickest I've ever been in years. So it was fair to take off. But this year we will be there. And I plan on not being sick.
All right.
That will be December 5th and 6th. And it's bigger. It's bigger and better than ever. This time.
I was ready to extend it to 2 days now.
It is 2 days. Well, Camille and I were talking about it. She says, I love Christmas. Apparently she was supposed to be born on Christmas. Was born a little bit early.
Okay.
So she has a love for Christmas, and you know, they do all this work to put it up, and it's up for a couple hours and they have to tear it all down.
Right.
And Camille was just like, oh, it's sad. It's kind of a tragedy. We do all this work. I love how it looks. You know, we get all this electric feeling, the holiday spirit, and then it's gone in a few hours. So now 2 days, and if you come into the Black Business Hub right now, you can see some of those decorations up.
It's already, they're already putting it up. And when you say Camille, you're talking about Camille Carter, the president of the Black Chamber.
Yeah.
It'll be up. Like I said, it's getting, like I said, it's being decorated right now. Everything's set up right now, and it'll actually be open 11 to 8 on Saturday and noon to 6 on Sunday.
Well, they'll have even more vendors this time. They'll have 50 across both days.
Wow.
Last year they had 40. The year before they had around 30. So they keep trying to do it bigger and better. At least bigger with the amount of vendors. They're going to have music this time, some spoken word performances.
Cool.
And pictures with Santa. So come on down. Go.
Fantastic.
Go.
What kind of vendors are there? What kind of stuff can you buy?
Last year, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mango Man was there. I, of course, picked up the secret third sauce, which is apparently both of the sauces.
Nice.
So you can go get you some Mango Man. Hopefully he's there this year also.
Yeah.
But a little bit of everything. The Black Business, the Black Chamber represents so many Black businesses across Wisconsin.
Like 300 something members.
There's so many, and they're always excited to show up for their events. So there will be a little bit of everything. There'll
be art. There'll be like
jewelry.
Some food products like you mentioned, and earrings. Absolutely, there will be earrings there. I know. It like cool, and like lotions and soaps and like
self-care stuff. Yeah,
so many great things there and such like that too. And just like when I went to the what did I go to? Like in
the Native Market?
Oh yeah. Like just like then it'll take me 3 like vendors
to spend all your money.
Like it's time for me to go home. That's what happened.
Did you go to the last one?
Yeah, I went to I went to the last one, and I got a pair of earrings that I love. And I had to stop because I was like, I'm going to keep buying things. And then it happened again at the Native one in November. I literally went to the first booth and I was like, oh no, I didn't even get to the second floor. I did, but I just walked around it really quickly because I couldn't help it. But like, I went right away. I knew I had to, I had no more money. Y'all.
I was at that one last year too.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to buy so many things like reporter.
Right.
I was shopper.
Yeah.
Shopper. But yeah, there's some really cool products and things that you really get an opportunity to, experience in those spaces too. Because it makes you think about, it's a good place to like find unique gifts for folks, right? And things that support local businesses and local community in ways that I think we take for granted sometimes too.
Well, a lot of these places don't have physical storefronts, so this might be the
only place you can find them.
I was going to say, some of them make their living on bazaars and festivals, and absolutely, like this. And a lot of them are their full-time job, and a lot of them are side hustles, or they're so you can really support Black-owned businesses and Black families by shopping at these at these specific things that are specifically curated for local, small, family-owned, Black-owned businesses. Yeah, most of which are self-funded. Frankly, these are not. There's not big venture investments in these businesses. These are people putting together their own savings and.
And it also is great because it's all a level or a kind of art form, right? Like curating and creating, it's cool to see, right? It's like entrepreneurship. Yep. It is sometimes like, something that exists in family history, like, recipes and, or pictures and, whatever and such. And it kind of gets you in a headspace of like, how do I continue to create art in this way? Like whether it is, personal or for business reasons or just like that, it is actually really cool to see how people like think about a talent or a gift that they have and be able to share to the rest of us. Right. And it's really cool to see. Like, I think it's incredible that people come up with recipes and offer, food in these different ways. And the same with, something as simple as earrings or, as though it's never as simple, or different fashion or again, different, forms of art for you all to consume and stuff like that. So I highly recommend that folks come and see it. You also get to hang out in the hub and it's a great space. And I always recommend coming in here because it's cool. And you should all, if you haven't had an opportunity to come into the space, it's a good way to come in and get introduced to it as well.
Yeah. Stop by. It's 11 to 8 on Saturday and noon to 6 on Sunday. And maybe we'll see you there. The other thing I wanted to ask Omar about is you talked with and wrote a nice profile of friend of the program, friend of Madison 365, Percy Brown.
Yes.
Who, if you've been around Madison 365 a while, you know that name. He's an educator here in Madison. He's currently the principal at Southside Middle School, which is now Carey Middle School. And what did you talk about? Did you know Percy before?
I did not. I did not know Percy before, which is kind of surprising. Honestly.
I guess, yeah. You've been around for years, so you'd think you'd cross paths. But what were your impressions? What did you talk to him about?
We're talking. So when I asked him to let's write a profile on him, MMSD was kind of like, please don't write it like the Cap Times.
Oh,
really? They said that?
Oh, wait a minute! I didn't even read that story. Wait. Again, look. Before we even talked about this, we started talking about this. I talked about a friend who loves information, not necessarily facts, but information. And right now, I'm in that mindset when you just said Cap. They don't want you to write it like the Cap Times. How they write it?
They focused on Candace Terrell, who was the former principal before. Percy came in to be the principal, but they barely
even mentioned him. Like they showed his picture, but that's about it.
It was a profile on Percy,
but it wasn't about.
But the profile barely about Percy.
So it was like a profile of Percy being that, like, hey, we had his picture in the story, and then the caption said Percy Brown, new principal, and that's all we gave them.
Essentially. So we didn't do that.
No, and we wouldn't do that because we don't need to tell other, like, look, I think, again, this is, I think, why it's important to support local news like this, right? Like, we understand that, like, there are two different ways, maybe not just two, but like 5 different ways to tell a story, right? And that's a choice, right? To focus in on something else rather than highlight the person whose name you put in the darn title of the whole story. Like, it's just this weird choice to not actually, I don't know, deflect.
To focus on the negative in
It's
order,
just
because that's
negative, but just bring, like, not, that negative could have been a line, right?
It was a line in mine.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Like, just a line, like, something happened. There was a transition here. Here are the other stories, that already exist about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, to pretend, like, I understand like 2 or 3 sentences for context, but when you displace the subject of your story to regurgitate a negative part that had nothing to do with this person other than it offered an opportunity for him to step into it.
Yeah.
You're trying to diminish how we move on and move forward because you think it'll get better clicks, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, don't use Percy and don't use the school and these students and these parents or community to get more clicks. You don't have to do that. Like, you literally could, like, put a line in there, especially on the online version of the story. You could put a line, like, and you could link it to your previous stories about what had happened. Like, there was no reason to do that other than to, like, hey, it's actually, we got to deflect this into, like, click, a little bit of a clicking.
No, and we should say as a practice, we don't necessarily let PR people tell us how to write stories. In this case, he wasn't wrong.
No, he wasn't wrong. It was like, oh God, we weren't going to do that in the first place.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
Like,
but what did you find? What did you talk about? And what's Percy, how's he doing these days?
He's doing great. He's excited. He's kind of nervous, but happy.
Yeah.
It's his first time being principal.
Yeah.
He's
been an administrator in other capacities.
He's had a very long career in education, but it also wasn't what he wanted to do initially. He actually wanted to be the next Michael Jordan, which he laughed about, but that didn't happen. But he did, initially he went to college at UW Whitewater. He kind of flunked out and he wasn't making the best life choices, he said. So he ended up going to Mississippi for a while, where he spent a lot of his summers growing up because that's where his father's from. He went to Delta State, and he said that experience was transformational. He got to be around a lot more Black students, a lot of people that look like him in an intellectual space, as he describes it. And that was very formative for figuring out how he wanted to be in his life. So, he went to Mississippi, he came back, he got his first job in education also at Southside Elementary, which he felt like it was a full circle moment.
Yeah.
It was his very first job, and that's where he figured out that he wanted to be in education, just from a mentor that told him, hey, you should go do it. You're really connecting with the kids. The first day he was there, he popped in to speak with Bruce Dahman, who was the former principal of Memorial High School. And all the kids just ran up to him. They're like, oh, Percy, Percy, Percy. And Bruce, he was like, oh, I see something in you, and you're excited to serve these kids, and you're excited to see these kids, and you want to help them any way you can, and they're excited to see you. You're really connecting with them. Why don't you go do some more education? So he decided to take the plunge into that, jumped into some administrative roles. His first full-time position ended up being with Middleton, where he kind of worked in a proto DEI type role before they actually, started making these DEI specific roles, which help bloom into a consulting business before all of these companies started their own DEI departments.
Yeah.
So when everyone did that, it kind of messed with his workflow there. Not really too much of a need to hit all these places. If all these places have now hired all their own DEI people to do this work. So it took a little bit of a hit, but he's still sustaining it. And after this last election, he was like, oh, this is kind of completely dead in the water at this point. Let me go figure out what to do next. And he did some soul searching, and everything pointed back to actually serving the youth and directly doing it. So he initially reached out to be a principal at MMSD. There's no positions at the time. The thing with Candace Terrell happened, and their MMSD was kind of scrambling because that wasn't something, of course, anyone expects. And they asked him to apply, and now he's back at where he started, and he's excited as ever.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a great story. And that'll be up at Madison365.org Friday morning. So as you're listening to this, we'll put the link in the show notes. Thank you for that, Omar. One other thing to mention before we get to our a couple other things, I guess. Let's talk governor's race for a minute. On Tuesday.
Also, I wanted to say that I called it again weeks ago that he was going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
Like months ago. And you're like, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Mandela?
Mandela Barnes jumped into the race this week.
I told you he would.
It was Tuesday morning. I was actually parking, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder when he's going to, I don't know if he's waiting until after the holidays, maybe, when like clear news cycle or whatever. And by the time I walked into the office, he had announced that he's running for governor, former lieutenant governor, former Senate candidate, current PAC president, Mandela Barnes from Milwaukee, jumping into the race, surprising no one.
I said that he was going to run.
In fact, the pollsters have been putting him in
because he was going to run.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he already announced months ago.
I think he would have been smarter to have announced months ago.
Earlier, you think?
I think it would have had a different sort of impact on who might be in the race now. But it is what it is, right? But like, I don't know his chances are any better just yet. The reason why he's doing well in the polls is because of name recognition. Yeah. Like, let's not pretend like folks are aware of his name and stuff like that too. At the moment,
the other candidates on the Democratic side are Francisca Hong, Assembly Representative from Madison, Kelda Royce, State Senator from Madison, David Crowley, County Executive of Milwaukee County, Sarah Rodriguez, current Lieutenant Governor. Is that everybody?
Is that everybody? Because a couple people dropped out also right after he announced.
Yeah, and there's one other guy from up north who's like just runs for everything all the time.
Just for fun.
What am I missing?
Missy Hughes.
Missy Hughes is also running.
That's right.
Wisconsin.
And I haven't heard much from her since she announced, but that might be because she's like doing things up north, trying to get that name recognition and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's the CEO, or former CEO of the WEDC.
There's a college student running.
Yeah.
Zachary Roper.
Yeah, that's the guy who's
who runs for everything.
Runs for everything.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
And good for him.
Yeah,
listen,
that's what you're supposed to do.
But you're right. None of those people have statewide name recognition the way Mandela Barnes does. Yeah. Because of the high profile. I mean, he came within 26,000 votes of beating Ron Johnson.
Yeah.
For Senate.
Yeah.
And he's got a national profile and is going to get some national level
fundraising
money.
And donors. Yeah.
But I know there's a kind of a sentiment that perhaps his moment has passed.
I don't know that his moment has passed. It's surprising how many people come back. Hello, the current president, right? Like, I don't know. I just don't know if it's this race. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know enough. I do think one more person's going to come out.
One or two, but possibly more.
That might make it more interesting.
And this is where I declare my candidacy for governor.
Yes, everybody,
Omar.
It's Omar.
I'll keep Giannis here. He's thinking about leaving. That's the rumors. I will do everything in my power as governor to keep him here. We'll have a Cleveland economy where we base the entire thing around one player.
Giannis.
I love it.
I know.
That's a great platform to run on.
I know right now, because that man tripped over himself and is now like, only my injury. Ow.
The only way to treat this injury is to trade me.
A
Okay, that was a little Bucks aside.
Bucks help you.
The other two names that are bandied about that may
yeah.
jump in are former Department of Administration Secretary Joel Brennan, who also doesn't have a lot of name recognition, but is an insider and like can pull all the levers. Is in Milwaukee. Although, boy, I don't know that he has much chance. If you're talking about Milwaukee electorate, if it's Crowley versus Brennan, it's Crowley all day long to me, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Exact Sciences CEO founder Kevin Conroy, who you got wind before they even announced it. You heard that they were selling.
I heard on the street like a couple weeks before I was like, well, not even a couple weeks, for a few months. I think because it's been going on for a little bit, right? But when people were starting to speculate after Evers announced
that he wasn't running.
Yeah. Like people were putting up names and stuff like that too. The last few weeks, I think, I don't know how long ago we talked about it, but it was a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Word on the street was that Abbott was going to buy Exact Sciences, for a few weeks there and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, he running, because why you selling right now?
Yeah, and his name
he's rather young. It's true. He's still young. It's not like he's an 80-year-old millionaire, billionaire, et cetera. He is still, young enough that this would be the right time. Like you've done well in business and rather well in business. You have a namesake within the business community across the state. Average supporter of Democrats and the current governor for years. Yep. I think a lot of there are folks who tend to follow this model that when you're that young and you've done enough in that business world, you're looking for the next thing. And it might not be in business anymore. It might be in something else, that you're passionate about and care about and stuff like that too. So I would not be surprised. I think he might come out.
He would have the political outsider lane.
Yes, but with the business, part, executive leadership part of it that he can, argue for and discuss in certain spaces. And he has his own money, and to pretend that that's not going to have, impact in this race, like, of course it is. And I'm also going to name, he's also a white man at the right age group for which folks feel most comfortable with, period. Right. And in a space and in a time where, like, sure, lots of folks are not necessarily happy with what Trump is doing and that administration is doing in so many different spaces and such. In the end, they're still going to vote with what they're most comfortable with. And in Wisconsin, what we are most comfortable with are middle-aged white men. I'm not saying it's bad or good. It is what it is. There are ways for us to continue to learn and grow and think beyond that. I don't know that as a state we're there yet. And I think that you have to say that out loud, that like absolutely that matters for folks. As long as he's in the middle of the road of things, he will do well, I think, in the space.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How does his voice sound?
I don't know.
I've never heard him talk, but also named Kevin Conroy. Longtime voice actor of Batman since the early 90s. I
know.
So if he's looking
he passed away too. Yeah.
In 2022.
He passed away a few years ago. I used to watch Batman, the animated series. I loved that show.
If he's looking for something else to do,
he could take
up the mantle.
Or he could just, again, because he is a millionaire, he could just be Batman.
He could just be Batman.
For Wisconsin.
He already has the name. The name recognized.
I know. He could just be Batman. And this could be his origin story right now. We just
You're welcome.
Remember? So I just would like to drive the Batmobile like once. Only if it's manual. If it's not, I don't understand why you're driving that car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate that, he does look the part. It's not unfortunate that he looks the part. It's unfortunate that that's a major consideration.
That's going to be a plus 10 points, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend. It doesn't mean that people shouldn't vote for him if they don't feel he's the best candidate, the most whatever reasons they have for that and such like that. But plus 10 points for the, or even maybe plus 20 points, it looking the part absolutely helps him. And then having money absolutely helps him. And that's a privilege that I hope he recognizes and uses toward doing some good. Right? Like, that is the hope, that you recognize the power and privilege that you have, Or he may just become somebody who's like, I'm here to like amplify other people. Like now, because I've sold my business, I can help in ways that I haven't been able to help before. And maybe what he does, maybe I'm wrong, maybe what he does instead is help amplify the current candidates in such a way that they, and within the state of Wisconsin, help the candidates he thinks will do best and better for everybody else in a very public way, in a way that he couldn't do before as a CEO of a rather large company. But I don't know.
Which mentioned on the other side, there are 2 declared Republicans, and it's going to be Tom Tiffany.
It's going to be what?
Tom Tiffany.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the congressman from up north. But I don't think there's any way he doesn't win the primary.
No. Unless somebody else comes in that's interesting. But
yeah, but he's pretty Trumpy, so and that's the other thing is one reason this is that the Dem primary is important. It's going to be a good year for Democrats.
I trust nothing or no one. I believe nothing or no one unless people are actually showing up in midterm elections. As much as we want to say it's going to be a good year, it requires folks to show up in ways that others won't, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And consistently, not just in like that November race, your midterm elections, your local school board elections perpetuate that win for Democrats if that's what you want, right? They keep that momentum going. If you only show up every 2 to 4 years, like, yeah, we're going to lose every time.
But it is interesting that the Wisconsin governor's race is always on a midterm.
Yeah.
So it's always it's almost always a change type election where you're going against whoever's in the White House. So the Democratic Assembly with the new redistricting maps here in Madison or here in Wisconsin is going to move more leftward. I don't know if they'll get the majority yet, but they could. And the governor's race is going to be there's going to be an advantage for the Democrat whoever wins the primary. I think it's not guaranteed because Tom Tiffany is very popular up north, but we will see and we'll keep on top of it. Couple sport-ish things we want to mention quick before we get to the Urban League of Greater Madison Young Professional. The first sport thing is not a sports ball, but a sports grappling, throwing each other.
Yes.
What?
Judo.
Judo.
Yes.
Cool.
So it's almost sports ball.
It's sports.
There's
without a ball.
Yeah. That works. There is a 7th grader from MMSD that is going to represent Team USA at the
that's awesome.
Pan American Judo Championship this week.
Yeah. It's like today and tomorrow. It's Friday, Saturday.
Thinking about the dates, yes. When this podcast comes out that day and the day after, Ilion Hoskins, who is apparently amazing at judo. He's been doing it since he's been 4 years old. Nationally recognized, has won so many awards for
won the national championship in his age group and his weight class in June. And they've been preparing for this Pan American Championship since then. He trains in Wheeler, Illinois, which is just south of Racine. I spoke with his coach briefly, and he it's like a 2-hour drive one way that they do 3 or 4 times a week.
But also, if you're that good, you would drive that far.
Yeah,
of course.
I can't wait for that ESPN 30 for 30 story.
Yeah,
I love 30 for 30. By the way, love it.
But he's already his stated goal, his dream, I guess. We haven't talked to him because he's like, we got this news. Like, we just got this yesterday, right? Like, from the school district, we got a tip. Yeah. So we haven't had a chance to, like, talk to him or his parents or anything. I was lucky enough to get his coach for 5 minutes on the phone. But his dream, apparently, is to win America's first men's judo Olympic medal. We have one women's judo Olympic medal.
I know we've won the women's one.
Yep, but he wants to be the first, and he's like 13, right? So he's got a little ways yet. And there's, at this age, this Pan American Championship is kind of the biggest region. You don't start doing world championships until you're like 16, but he's on that path.
And he's going to go pretty far. It sounds like it. I mean, going all the way to Peru to do some judo.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
It's pretty intense. And we'll try to catch up with his family maybe after We were just talking before we started recording. Where it's on. You found it's on Judo TV, right?
It's on Judo TV,
which is a subscription
Service.
streaming thing.
The biggest judo streaming service in the world. I don't know if there's a second one, so it might be by default.
But maybe look for number 2.
Right.
Number 2 might be cheaper.
But we're going to try to find a way to keep up with the results and see how he does and catch up with him maybe next week when he's back.
Yeah.
But that's a very cool story.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. And of course we understand that like sports families at this age are traveling and working and moving so much that we understand if maybe they can't get to us maybe in 2 weeks.
Right.
It might be Christmas break, y'all.
Right.
Maybe go back.
All right, maybe we'll cut that out. The other sports news: Wisconsin volleyball ranked 3rd in the Texas Regional in the NCAA tournament. Their tournament gets underway tonight as we're recording, Thursday evening against Eastern Illinois. And I will pause and come back later and tell you that result. Jumping in from the future, the Wisconsin Badgers swept Eastern Illinois 25-11, 25-6, and 25-19. And next tonight, Friday night, take on North Carolina, which pulled off the upset against the University of Texas, El Paso. So congratulations to the Wisconsin volleyball team on their big win, or sorry about that terrible loss. And then on the soccer field, a couple of for Madison notes. They had their town hall earlier this week. Lots of interesting things, nothing that terribly newsworthy. But they did re-sign Derek Gebhard, who's everybody's favorite player because he's been here. This will be his 6th season with us, which is unheard of in this league, really. And he's our all-time leading scorer with 29 goals and our all-time leader in appearances with 158 so far across all competitions. So that was a big announcement. And then the other big thing they announced is that we've signed Mark Segbers, a name that may not mean anything to you unless you were following Badger soccer 10 years ago, because he played for the Badgers for 4 years and has been professional for the last 6, mostly at the USL Championship level, which is the 2nd division. He's been a Charleston Badger for 3 years. So to get him to come to basically move down a level to be with us is a big get. He's 29. He's going to be good veteran leadership and a really solid defensive midfielder. They brought in Matt Cairns, who is as a sporting director, which is a position that for Madison, the most top level professional teams have, but Madison hasn't. It's like the GM, where it's like a separate person who's building the roster other than the head coach. So the head coach can focus on actually managing the game. So that'll be cool to see how he puts it together. He hinted at maybe an MLS loan, like a loaned player from an MLS team, which would be pretty cool. We haven't had one of those since 2020.
Let's get messy.
That would be amazing.
Yes. Lionel Messi on loan. He's wearing pink right now. Lionel Messi wears pink.
Just let him come for one game. Come on.
He could be a bench player. He comes in just at a certain point.
Yeah, super sub in the 80th minute.
Yeah.
Score 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of a match.
The 5th being free. He's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Just one more.
How the U.S. is our version of the NBA EuroLeague.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't even know we're that level. I'll be honest, y'all. And like
for the NBA, I kind of want to retire when I keep playing. Let me go to Europe. It's the same thing for all the soccer players around the world.
Yep.
Well, but also NBA Euro also takes like college kids who don't get drafted. So you got really, which is very, it's really interesting. Like I'm sure experience that you have retired players who don't want to stop, but aren't 1,000% belonging in the NBA anymore. So they go to the Euro, and these like young kids who are playing with these old legends
who are good, but
legends.
Not quite good enough to make the NBA.
And then we have MLS, which is our equivalents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a bunch of young kids who aren't good enough to go to Europe, and you got a bunch of old Europeans. But speaking of women's soccer, the Madison women's team will announce its branding and its colors and its crest and its name and everything on Friday, December 12th. And I will be there.
You will be there.
Which is exciting.
I also want to say that those folks who love soccer better be showing up for that women's team.
Yeah.
It'll be a better game.
Well, yeah, it will be.
It'll be a better game. And also, y'all better be showing up and be spending money for the merch and the like whatever sales that they have. You better be showing up. You love soccer. You show up.
100%. Here's the thing with that women's team. It was we were granted a first division professional franchise 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And because of our stadium and the oldness of our stadium, we haven't been able to upgrade it enough to get it to the level of
1
professional Division I women's soccer. So we haven't been able to do that. So what we're starting is a W League team, which is basically the level of like the Mallards.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be professional coaches, professional environment, college players.
Yeah.
Or high school players in some cases. Our goalie is at 16.
Mm-hmm.
The goalie that they already signed is 16 from Wanakee. And they announced Sonoma Beavers from Edgewood and just for now, I don't remember where she's from, but so far those are the players that they signed, but they're all amateur players. Mm-hmm. And it's a short season. It's 10 games, which means like 5 home games. It's not a big commitment if you get a season ticket. But the idea is to go professional in 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. And maybe in a Division II capacity, because there are 2 separate Division II leagues, women's leagues that are going to start. Mm-hmm. So there's paths to professional women's soccer in Madison.
Yeah. But it only works if you all show up.
Yes.
And that includes you, Rob.
I will be there.
I mean, not all the time. I have things to do too that you have to. Like we have child things we have to.
Well, I go to every.
They can watch
it. Actually, ours probably would actually go.
I mean, they want to go. Yeah,
they might want to go too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be fun. It's exciting, and we'll learn like what to call them.
Whatever happened to the soccer stadium that was playing in Milwaukee?
No, that one. No.
Someone asked about that.
No, it's not.
It's because it's the same people that own Fort Madison that are doing that. Uh-huh. And Connor Kaloya, the CEO, said with a straight face, "We're full speed ahead in Milwaukee."
But where?
Where? Like, yeah, there's
there's
nothing ahead happening in Milwaukee. They say it's taking longer, but it's going to happen. They're still on it. Costs have gone up. I
think it's legitimate to say like we've been delayed because the cost of everything has gone up. Now, is he being mindful and careful to not get into some language that folks will feel is political? Sure. But costs went up.
Or just disingenuous, like because they've been saying full speed ahead for 3 years.
Yeah, but like
wasn't it supposed to be done this year?
They were supposed to start playing in 2025. They're supposed to originally actually have a team playing soccer in Milwaukee in 2025.
Yeah, but also the cost of things have gone up, and rather than just say like, "Hey, in general." Mm-hmm. Things are way more expensive, and each year we try to get to that place where we can start. It got more expensive.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's absolutely valid to say.
And it's all about building a stadium. That's the big thing.
Yeah. And the cost of building anything right now.
It's been a real estate development. They built housing. They built a music venue, and they're working on building a stadium because they don't want to start. This is a USL championship team. It's a second division team that they don't want to play that. And USL doesn't want to have new teams playing in college stadiums, high school fields, the way they used to. So they want to build a stadium and not start a team and then move into a stadium, which is what some teams do. So I commend them for just doing it right, and we're going to take as long as we need to build a stadium and then put a team in it.
Well, they have to start building the stadium.
It would be nice to start building something at some point.
Just like, what's the bid? At least there's a bid process. Right. Like, I don't even know.
Connor did say there's been significant developments in the last 90 days, which also we've heard before. So I don't think they're lying, whatever, but I don't know. I know Madison or Milwaukee soccer fans are getting frustrated.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. Because it's also, again, another source of income for the city. Absolutely.
It's jobs and
development and
and Milwaukee's
opportunity.
Milwaukee's got a great soccer history.
Yeah, they do.
The Milwaukee Bavarians is
I can't believe you've been talking about sports for this long, Rob.
Amateur.
I'm talking
club.
about the stadium.
We're talking about real estate. We're talking about real estate development.
We're talking about
Iron District.
It's all about location.
We're talking about access.
So it's supposed to break ground in 2022, right?
Yeah.
It didn't. And it was supposed to be done in 2025, and the professional team was supposed to debut in either 2025 or 2026.
Yep.
And nothing. Not ground broken. Not even a shovel hitting the ground.
Well, yeah. What I wonder too. Like, I wonder if part of it was to like also have something for the Olympics.
For World Cup, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, World Cup. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
I think that a lot of soccer development in this country is pinned on World Cup.
Yeah, but I will be honest. I don't know World Cup will be World Cupping the way it should be when it comes around.
We'll see.
Why they split the locations.
So many different ways, but I think also folks don't want folks trying to get into the U.S. to watch and enjoy their team playing will be just way more difficult under this administration, and folks are not going to want to risk it or pay for that experience if it's going to be so negative in such a way that like ticket sales are just going to be incredibly low because there's not enough U.S. fans to fill those seats.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting how everybody who's invested in having something ready for the World Cup, how much that investment is really going to be worthwhile or and actually get a return out of that investment. I would like to see stats and data.
Yeah, we'll see. And tickets are ridiculously expensive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's already, difficult to get, and let alone under this current administration, the idea of, coming from certain countries or any country as somebody who might be Black and brown, coming into the U.S., I think there's a fear of that experience not being positive whatsoever from beginning to end.
I mean, Bad Bunny said he's not touring in the U.S.
I mean, and he's doing fine. Like, that's the thing. Like,
the most popular artist in the world.
He is. Look at the Spotify, and he is the most popular artist, and he's still touring in other places, and and declares that he's not touring the U.S. and still got the spot to play at the Super Bowl. Like, you don't need to be in the U.S. to be famous, y'all. That's the other thing that is maybe signaling in a way that I think folks don't always appreciate is that folks recognize they don't have to be here or come here or spend money here or hope to profit within the U.S. to do the work and the art that they want to do. Mm-hmm. That you all consume it in the ways that makes it possible for them to protect themselves and their families and their friends and and folks that even their fans like that it's part of the reason why Bad Bunny said like I am not risking my fans in the U.S. is really what he was saying.
And some of the countries that are participating are on Donald Trump's list of.
That's what I said. Like they like. Yeah. And that list is always going to grow, and it's going to change without anybody knowing, right? Like the thing is that what I don't know how real that list is in terms of like folks are really going to do harm, like right? Like it's still Donald Trump like picking and choosing because he woke up one morning or
right,
or had a bad burger that day and wanted to add more people or more countries or not, but like. It's not like they're transparent about what their plans are or aware of what they're going to do, et cetera, consistently and fairly. It's at a whim for all of these folks in this administration to decide how they want to move and ask about legality later. So why would you come to a place that's unstable? Because we're unstable and there is no transparency about what the expectations are.
Right.
Jesse Owens moment. World Cup.
I mean, that's what
great.
I know. That's what I feel like.
Life change.
I feel like there are going to be certain moments that
Haiti is going to win the whole thing.
Well, my other thing is like, what happens when soccer teams refuse to play in the U.S. for the World Cup? And I think that's coming. If you are banning certain countries, folks to be able to come into the country, like. How many soccer players are going to say, like, I'm not going to play in the U.S.?
It's possible.
Yeah. And I don't know that they would, I don't think they would be wrong to say that.
Yeah. Curacao is making its debut. It's the smallest nation ever to qualify for the World Cup. I'm excited about that.
What's the nation?
Curacao. The Caribbean.
Oh.
So that's exciting. Cape Verde from Africa is making its debut. Uzbekistan.
Oh, nice.
Made is debuting as well as Jordan. So I don't know. It'll be a fun tournament. I think
we'll see. I think it's still a little bit away.
All the men's U.S. national team games you can watch on the video board at Reese Stevens Field, which will be fun. And it's here.
Only the men's.
Well, they did the women's too.
Okay,
it's only the men's World Cup.
Women's too, right? Yeah. I know it's the women's cup, but like I'm saying, like why?
They did the women's.
Do they do the women's? Or are they going to do it? Okay.
They did the women's last time.
I couldn't remember.
It was fun. There was actually it turned out just one of the women's national team World Cup games was the same night as the Fort Madison game, so like everybody just stayed and watched
That's
it.
right. You're right. I remember that.
So that's all the sports for today.
And that's enough.
Took up half of the
for
podcast.
the rest of the month.
We're gonna take a break, and when we
I
come
don't
back,
want to do any more. Except unless we're talking about Kawhi Leonard.
Wait, $7,900 for a finals round ticket for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Just dropping that there.
I'm just letting you all know. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, Kayla Conklin and Deja Mason will be here. And we're back, and joining us now, the current president of the Urban League Young Professionals, Kayla Conklin. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
And the incoming president, Deja Mason. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Incoming being you're taking over January 1st?
I am.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So regular listeners may probably know Kayla, have heard your voice for sure, but Deja, why don't you introduce yourself to us a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Deja Mason. I have been a part of YP now for about the past 4, almost going on 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Dallas native, but moved to Madison for undergrad and have stayed in town since then.
That happens.
It does. Yes. Yeah. I've been here since 2014.
Okay. Now the reason we're talking to you is your annual gala is coming up December 13th.
Yes.
Yes,
right?
it is.
A couple of Saturdays from now. We'll get to that in a bit because we want people to come and enjoy that evening and support the young professionals. But I want to talk a bit more about the organization and kind of what you've been up to. So Kayla, tell us about how your involvement in YP and sort of what you've managed to accomplish in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of you know that I started in YP as the advocacy chair. So spent a lot of time focusing on civic engagement and advocacy initiatives. And then in the last 2 years, I've had the honor and privilege of moving into the president role, which is a lot more focused on overseeing the chapter's sustainability and growth and really trying to put strategies around making sure that we are being impactful in our city. And so this year, I think we've done a wonderful job at continuing that. We were named the Central Region Chapter of Excellence again by the National Urban League Young Professionals, which is a huge honor and just a testament to the work that we do. We also focus a lot on personal and professional development this year and really creating a safe space for young Black professionals and their co-conspirators to grow and focus on ways that we can bring that back to our workplaces and into our community to be impactful on purpose and with intention there. So that was a lot of our programming this year with, of course, still centering our pillars of advocacy and community service. We recently just completed a community meal where we opened it up to anybody and everybody that wanted to come eat with us. And we had about 40 people attend that. And so it was highly welcoming environment. And we're very excited to continue to do things like that going forward.
I think part of the story in the last couple of years has been the growth of this organization post-pandemic. Like a lot of organizations had a hard time getting through that period, but you guys actually thrived.
Yeah,
we did
through that, right?
Absolutely.
How did you manage to do that? And where are you at now in terms of membership?
Yeah, so last year we ended at about 130 members, which was the most we've ever had in our history, which was so exciting. This year we're at about 90. So really excited to still see the momentum. When our previous president, Kurt Rose, started this chapter back up, it was about 4 members, then to 9.
Yeah.
And so to sustain 90 year over year is really, really exciting. We also have seen more engagement this year from our members. So more people showing up to different things, the word getting spread about our events. For example, our scholarship program, last year we had about 10 to 12 applicants, and this year we had about 45 applicants with only 6 scholarships that we were able to give out. So that is a huge testament of our chapter and their growth and the work that they put in on the initiatives that we got going on.
It seems to me I'm well past young professional, but I was doing a professional point when like Magnet was starting back 20-ish years ago, and there's sort of like a young professional movement then, right? And now every publication has a 40 under 40 or a 30 under 30 or whatever, except us, we don't do that. But But it's a thing, right? It's an important thing. And so Deja, can you talk a little bit about why it's even important to have an organization specifically for young professionals, and beyond that, specifically for Black young professionals?
Yeah. So having a space for young professionals, in my opinion, is really important for me. When I got into grad school and was really looking for a place of other Black folks and, as Kayla put, co-conspirators and advocates that are really willing to do the work. I wanted to get back into doing community service. I wanted to learn more about advocacy work. The church that I grew up in back in Dallas, that was all we did. It was doing expungement clinics for folks and helping people get to the polls and learn more about their voting rights, and starting up a credit union for families so that they're able to learn about finances and what they can do and what those rates look like, just the whole entire thing. And so for me growing up, that was always really important. And so I want to be able to find spaces that will continue to want to develop me as a young professional and continue to build into me, not only professionally, but also socially. And I think that is a really beautiful space, like the Urban League of Greater Madison Young Professionals, that we are consistently a space where we're doing the work, but also we're having fun together. And a lot of professional other organizations, they're always just work, 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 work. Whereas for us, we do the work. We're always wanting to make an impact and wanting to make sure that we are showing up for our community first and foremost. But we also enjoy the aspect of having professional development and membership development as well, and just feeding back into people. So having spaces like this where you get to cultivate and congregate in a space of like-minded people that are also wanting to see the same things for their community really just allows for us to stand up far better as a collective, especially in moments where it is definitely needed, considering the context of where we are standing at right now. Having a space like YP is going to be, I think, impactful and especially needed. And I hope that people find room in their schedule to come and be a part of YP too, and do the work with us.
Is it, I mean, this is Madison, right?
Yeah.
Mostly white place, obviously. And is it still the case that in many professional environments, it's kind of like there's one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, so when you're talking about the connection and the coming together, like that's got to be an important piece of this, right?
Oh, you have to. Yeah. I mean, I think the vast majority of us in the chapter are like one of one in our workplaces.
Uh-huh.
I know that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I think on a good day, I may run into another Black woman, maybe, once in a blue moon in my building, to be completely honest, and that's me being at the University of Wisconsin. So like, I'm always around multiple different kinds of people, but I also wanted to make a point to also hire more folks around me that also don't always have the same background, but want opportunities, and they just so happen to be people of color too, which I really enjoy. So that's always good.
Yeah, and I think being able to have this kind of affinity space where we do have majority Black and brown people, it feels like we can be authentically ourselves. So we are able to do things like what we call fail forward. So when we make a mistake in YP, let's say it's around event management, project management, budgeting, we know that we're not losing our paycheck, we're not losing our job, we're not getting put on a performance improvement plan, but we're having authentic conversations about why that may have happened and what can we do to do better going forward. And so I really appreciate that aspect of it, and we have seen the growth amongst all of our members and how that space impacts them. A lot of the representation that you see in Business 40 Under 40, typically the Black recipients of that award are in our chapter. Dr. Ruben Anthony likes to say we have the brightest and the best Black people in our chapter, and I, would be remiss if I did not agree with him and put that in there, but I believe that is the true foundation of our space, and really is created a lot of impact here in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Ruben Anthony, being the CEO of the Urban League of Greater Madison, has been for 10 years. He just celebrated 10 years, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
Wow.
did.
Now, and I think I just want to underscore what you both said, in that our white people listeners cannot ever appreciate what it is to be one of one, right? And the importance of commiseration, and how you have to, you do. I mean, I can't speak for this authentically. You can, but you do have to kind of put part of yourself away, right?
In a way,
yeah, or you're at least. And correct me if I'm not saying this correctly, but maybe you can say it better. But there is a sense that you're always kind of aware of who you're around, and keeping them comfortable.
Oh
in a way,
Yeah.
I hear this. The co-host of this podcast is my wife, and who is Mexican and is like very aware of this and articulates it very well. But that's why anybody who complains about DEI or belonging or any efforts like that is very frustrating to me, because they don't understand why it's important.
Yeah.
Right. You're not it's not about hiring quotas or anything like that. It's much more about helping folks feel like they belong somewhere. Right. And that's what YP is doing, is that if you're feeling this way at work, come here and be yourself.
Absolutely.
100% authentically, fully.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yeah, we are absolutely a space where we have people that are in different industries, that have different professions, that have side businesses. I know a number of us do.
Sure.
And having a space where we're able to really dive into those pieces of ourselves and learn more about ourselves, and also bounce ideas off of each other. You know, the number of businesses that have started up, or the impacts that we're able to make, even just on people that are there. We have folks that are starting candle businesses. We have folks that do lawn care, that are also doing construction and logistics. We have folks that are crash box therapy, like there's multiple different members that are a part in creating a variety of different businesses. And I think where we're able to create an environment for them to learn more and from each other, and to grow and to develop, which we sincerely do as a chapter. But we also get to feedback into the community, into these small businesses as well, and specifically these Black small owned businesses, and making sure that they get the platform and the highlight and the representation that they so sincerely deserve, because they make good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for focusing on the diversity of the professionalism that we have in the chapter. I think sometimes we as Black people associate a stigma with the word professional. And I just want to say to all the listeners that if you have a job and you're driven to do something, you are a professional.
Correct.
And we welcome you into our space. You do not have to come with degrees and awards and recognition to be in our space. If you're driven to want to impact your community and work on yourself, that you are welcome in our space. And so we want to make sure that our title is inclusive, because that really truly is the goal.
Thank you for saying that, because we're kind of off topic here a little bit, but but this is good stuff. This is good to dig into, because also another thing that white people do is use the word professional as an adjective.
Correct.
Meaning like you're not being professional, or you should be more professional, which is tremendously coded, right? Which means act more white, please.
Yes.
Act in a way that makes me comfortable, please, right? Whereas as you're saying, that's not necessarily what you mean. When you say professional, you're saying professional, you are working for a living, right?
Absolutely.
And trying to do something good for your community, and that's what makes you professional.
Correct.
Yeah, but you get to use a space like YP to really test out those skills,
Oh, sure, yeah.
And Caleb brought this up previously, but when you're in a leadership role, or you join one of our committees, you're helping to create different community service activities, or partnering with other organizations across the city. So you have the ability to learn how to budget, to learn how to fundraise, how to create PR and marketing materials. So if there's a skill set that you want to learn more about, I think being in an environment that, as you pointed out, is not related to performance, it's not related to, you getting paid, but it's actively a space where you can grow and you can develop, and knowing that people between the ages of 21 to 40 don't always necessarily get all of those spaces, or you feel like you're running against comfortability? And how comfortable do you feel in these environments to speak up, or how comfortable do you feel putting your ideas forward? And YP is a space where you can actively do all of those things and really tie them back into giving back, but also how do we continue to cultivate and develop ourselves internally as an organization too.
So, Deja, looking ahead, you're going to step into the president's role on January 1st.
I am.
What are your big plans for 2026?
Oh, we got some good things cooking, but I think for me, I am really focused on wanting to continue in the legacy of what we've done as a chapter before. I think that Kayla has really set the bar along with Kurt to identify how we should continue to proceed as a chapter. So I'd like to do more community service, more advocacy work, especially because we have midterm elections. We have a governor race next year. We have local elections. I'd like to see us a little bit more involved in those spaces as well.
Okay.
And seeing if maybe we can have more YP members on city council or on some of these committees. Like, I think we thankfully a couple months ago had Mayor Satie actually come for one of our general body meetings where she shared a lot of that information, and it inspired quite a number of people to learn more about those committees. And I think that we can actively be taking more of a step in that direction. I also am personally, my heart is tied to like food security and wanting to make sure that people have food on the table and that they have resources available to them. So I'd really like to put in more of a stamp in our fundraising as well to really help in those spaces. And I just, we could look at what we're currently going through as a moment for us to feel downtrodden and to not see all of the really good things, but knowing that you have people with the feet on the ground in multiple different ways really attacking it to see us get to a better place. I think that we are in a really great position to continue in assisting in that momentum. And so me and my team are currently figuring out what we want to do, where our members see us going. And I think it's just a matter of disrupting the norms of what we've currently have set up in our community and really just continuing to push forward.
It's so interesting you're talking about getting folks elected.
Yeah.
We see on this podcast a lot that your local elections.
I mean, we're bipartisan, so I mean, we can't say nonpartisan. We really can't tell nobody to vote for nobody. But I think making sure that people are aware of their rights is where we
and thinking about like inspiring your members to run for office, whatever party, whatever political ideology, but just to be represented.
Yes.
Because all the local races are nonpartisan anyway.
Yeah.
Right. But just to lay out the idea that I could be a city council member, right? And we always say local elections have more impact on your day-to-day life than the president does.
They do.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. Generally.
Maybe right now it's a little different for some folks, but generally speaking, like that's just so important that and those get overlooked and really talented people are not on city council right now. Yeah. There are a lot of talented people that are, but a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't know, like what or just to be involved in politics.
Even just being involved in a city council or just even being a part of YP, because I think what's really great is that we have access or are continuing to build access where we are in community and in more political spaces and more business spaces and more community spaces where we are connecting people and making sure that they're in these political spaces too, because if our voices in our age range aren't being heard and considered and contextualized, then we're missing out of that space. And I think that it's necessary. And we have a number of people that are like Donald, who is over there in Fitchburg doing really, really great.
Donald Dantzler has been on this podcast before.
Yes. And so having